Happy November, everyone. Happy day after election day. Whether you're happy or sad, it doesn't really matter, but it's over for now. So we're almost over for now once we get the last results. But hopefully everyone voted for whoever you wanted to. Again, early November, we're getting through the end of the year here, which is pretty crazy. A couple birthdays happened earlier in the week. Marty and Maria, happy birthday to Marty and to Maria. Robert Lewis's birthday is today, so please wish him a happy birthday if you haven't already. And Ron's is on the 23rd, so just a couple more for this year. Again, welcome agents. We have no one new to introduce today, but if you have anyone that you know is looking to make a change, let me know. Again, there is a referral to you, right, with the Refer and Earn program. So if you know of anyone who's either thinking of getting their New York license or who has their license and wants to make a move, you can get kind of money off of all the deals that they close while they're with Weichert. So a great way to kind of supplement your income and incentivize you to help grow the team here. We're always looking for a few good people. So again, the link is in the slides, Refer and Earn with Weichert.com. Great way to make some supplemental income. Okay, Dale Carnegie, one of the greats of mastery of the art of human interactions, said an hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. I like this a lot. I think it's very important for us to always think about, what we're doing and be intentional in what we do. From planning, you can really save yourself some time, and you can really save yourself the ability to get the most out of the hours that we have in the day, right? We all have the same 24 hours. The difference between an agent who makes $0 a year and an agent who makes, 6 figures plus a year is what they're doing with those 24 hours that they have every day. So if you need help figuring out what you should be doing on a daily basis, let me know. We've put out some videos recently about prospecting, about the Tom Ferry plans and things like that. And just by planning your day, right? Just by putting your phone on Do Not Disturb and doing certain things at certain times, you can really save yourself a lot of time, and you can really save yourself in terms of, really getting the best use out of the time that you have. So again, if you need any help creating a schedule, if you need help figuring out what to do for prospecting, again, every Wednesday from 10 to 12, we're in here. Aiden and I were making calls. He had some good calls working on his dialogue and stuff like that. But opportunities abound, right? For those of you who just got on the call, Michael was saying before we started, he has 2 contracts accepted this week, right? And so there are deals out there. There's tons and tons of business, right? You can all be extremely productive in these last couple weeks of the year and through next year. And really now is the time where you're planning, and what you're doing now is going to make sure you have an amazing spring market, right? We're kind of in that usually, gray area, as we're about to approach the holidays. And so things tend to slow down, but don't let that slow you down, right? Let yourself take your time to plan, to figure out what you're going to be doing. And it will really, really, again, make sure that you've got an amazing income next year. Again, we're supposed to do a happy hour tomorrow, but given a bunch of people who couldn't make it, we are going to change that date, and we're going to be having a holiday happy hour on December 15th. It's a Thursday, so please put it in your calendars. I will be sending out early December where it's going to be. We'll either do a bar kind of near the office, or we'll do something at my apartment. And again, we'll have food and drink and stuff like that. So it's a little more than a happy hour, but put it in your calendars for the 15th, probably around 6 p.m. I would say. So market update. Okay, so usually I go around and let people talk about what they're seeing on the market and stuff like that. Again, if anyone has anything they'd really like to talk about, what they're seeing, great, we can definitely do that. But I thought I'd take a moment and just jump into, oops, make sure I'm sharing my screen. Just jump into Urban Digs, right? Because all of you guys are market experts. And if you're not, you have the tools where you can be a market expert, right? And so again, everyone gets a free 2-week trial of Urban Digs. It's urbandigs.com with your Weichert email. If you're using it and you're running reports or doing infographics and things like that, we can get you, a free paid membership. You don't have to pay for it. And Urban Digs provides amazing information for both Brooklyn and Manhattan in terms of what is happening with the market, right? And there are a number of different things in here, right? You can price units, you can do CMAs. I just want to show you 2 of the most simple things that you can do with this to get information out to prospects, to clients, to customers, to whatever. right? So again, here on the home screen, right, when you log in, just go back. Again, if you ever need to go to the home screen, you click on this little thing here, or you can click on dashboard. There's going to be a market ticker. And what this is going to do, it's going to tell us what is happening over the last week or the last month with certain metrics within Manhattan or Brooklyn or specific neighborhoods, right? So in this case, here, I just clicked on the 1 month and we're looking at Manhattan wide, but we can change that. And we're looking at supply, right? What happened with supply? There's been 1,453 new listings, which is a drop of 24% from last month, right? We'd usually expect that. Less is coming on the further into the year we go, and it will start picking up in the spring most likely. Contract signed, right? Contract signed are up 35.76%, right? If we look at this, there were 1,453 places added to the market, 782 went into contract, right? Almost half of the listings that enter the market go into contract, right? So if you're hearing, oh, the market's bad, oh, nothing's happening, that's not the case. And we'll see as we go through the contracts that were signed over last week. We have contracts being signed almost every day here in the office, which is an amazing thing, right? Again, Market Pulse, still buyer's market. There's still great values out there, and you have to be talking to people. You have to be telling them what's happening with the market, right? And so if you're not engaging with your sphere of influence, with your past customers and clients, or with the general public, you're doing yourself a disservice because again, deals are happening, right? 782 contracts were signed last month. And again, this week, 192 are already signed, right? And I can tell you, we have about 5 of those. So it's great, right? Lots of stuff is happening and we're kind of upping our market share. We can also change this by clicking on this little toggle here. And we can just pick one neighborhood, right? We want to know what's going on in Soho. We can pick if we want condos, co-ops, townhouses, or everything. I'm just going to click everything. Right, here we go. Soho, 3 new things came on the market. 3 contracts were signed. 5 came off the market, right? It's a neutral market here in Soho. And again, we'll expect that because there's not as much. If we're looking at Washington Heights, right? We can do this across different neighborhoods. 1 new thing came on the market, 2 markets signed, right? So there's not much inventory there. We can do the same thing in Greenwich Village, Gramercy Park, wherever we want to do this, right? 7 off market, 8, right? Still a buyer's market, but lots of stuff is happening. So again, you can use these, and again, you could take a quick screenshot of this and send it out to people if you wanted to, or you can use one of the most amazing built-in tools to UrbanDigs, the infographic, right? So again, if you click here on infographics on the right side under your name, it's going to let you choose a template, right? And based on the marketing you're doing, and I've been working with a number of you to send out additional mass emails to your farm area, use these and switch up which one you're using to give information to people about what's happening in their market, right? If you're targeting Chelsea, you can pull all of these different things for Chelsea. So here we go. So number 1 is 3 charts every buyer should see. This has information about the market pulse, contract activity, and what the negotiability is. We can do a quick market snapshot, and personally, this is the one I usually use. So when we go through this, we'll use that one. You can do a weekly market update. You can see price reductions, right? What's happening on certain markets. And you can do a cap rate analysis, right? For anyone who's going after investors, this is a really, really great way to target them, to tell them, hey, there's still good buys in Manhattan. Hey, there's still great buys in Brooklyn, right? The reason for this is that we might be seeing a little bit of a slowdown in contract activity, but at the same time, we're seeing rents continue to increase, right? The rental prices now are higher than pre-pandemic levels. They might be steadying out a little bit, but for an investor, the returns are amazing, right? A lot better than they were before. And so that's a great way to look at what's going on with the market, right? So let's just pick the quick market snapshot, right? So I'm going to click on the info and hit next. And again, like we could do in that market snapshot, what we can do is we can pick where we want to target, right? And so again, let's say we want to look at Williamsburg, right? What's going on in Williamsburg? And I want to look at market wide. Again, if you want to look at just new developments or just resales, you can do that. I'm going to do the whole market. And again, if you want to be specific, if you just want to do condos, if you just want to do co-ops or townhouses, you can. I'm going to do all and hit next. Right? Basically, what we picked our template, we picked our market area, and boom, we have this, right? So in Williamsburg right now, it is a seller's market, right? Wow, isn't this a great thing that you can use to go after sellers, right? Telling them that it's a great market for them, right? Supply is down 35%, pending sales are down, negotiability is up a little bit, Days on market is up a little bit, but again, we're still at under 2 months for days on market, right? In a normal market, we expect 3 to 4 months for days on market. That's about 120 days. And again, the median sale price is down a little bit. And again, what this does is this creates an amazing little JPEG that you can take. All we have to do is click on download, and it'll download the computer, and I can send that to people. I can post it on Instagram. I can post it on Facebook. I can use it in my social media posts on TikTok, whatever it is. So it's a great way to do this. And again, we can do this for wherever we want to, right? Let's say we just want to do condos, right? What happens to this chart? It's going to change, right? Again, it's still a seller's market, right? Supply is down, price is down, days on market's up a little bit. So it's slowing down a little bit, but again, we can do this for wherever we're working, right? Let's say we're working in Chelsea. And we're going to do all. So Chelsea's a buyer's market right now, right? Supply is up, sales are down, negotiability is down, days on market is up, and the median sale price is down a little bit, right? So what would you do? You could send this to people and say, hey, it's a great time to buy in Chelsea, right? Think of the power of this. And this is branded for you with all your contact information. And all it says is data courtesy of Urban Digs, right? So again, a great way to either A, inform yourself of what's happening on the market, or B, to distribute that information to people, right? And again, by using these graphics on social media and by using these graphics with any kind of mass emails that you send, it's a great way to inform people in certain areas of what's happening in their exact neighborhood. So please take advantage of this. Again, you all get free trial memberships, and if you're using it and sending these out frequently, I will give you a full paid subscription. Just send me an email about that. So let's go back here. Any questions about that? Again, great data that you can use very easily. Just a reminder, I'm going to be out of the office, finally going to Argentina for my wedding from the 17th of November through the 3rd of December. So I'll be back in the office on the 5th of December. Patty will be doing the processing, credit checks, and things like that. Stephanie will be available to help with any questions that you have and sending the overnights with the checks, right? So our processing schedule will stay the same. If you send everything to Patty by 3 o'clock, Stephanie will send out the check that evening. And we send out the overnights on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So basically, Tuesdays and Thursdays we'll be sending them. There will not be an overnight on the Thursday of Thanksgiving. But again, the next week they'll be going out on the regular schedule. So if there is anything that you have, right? If you need anything from me, you've got the rest of this week and the first 3 days of next week. Again, we'll still be doing our training on Tuesday and Wednesday. But again, if you need anything, if you know you have a closing coming up and you have questions about it, if you need transaction numbers, if you need anything like that, let me know sooner rather than later so we can make sure that you're covered while I'm out. I will not be able to answer my phone. I'm turning it off, which is the first time I've ever done that in 15 years. So I won't be available. We have, again, workshops. We had it this morning. We're doing prospecting here in the office. Next Tuesday at 12, we'll be doing one final workshop before I leave. And Wednesday from 10 to 12, we'll be here in the office doing prospecting. So again, please come in. I'd love to see you here in the office for that. The workshop is over Zoom as well. The prospecting we just do in person because it's all about making calls and kind of getting better at our scripts. So Jamie is not here today, but again, if you don't have Jamie's information, it's here. He's a great resource for anyone looking to get renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance. Get him in touch with your clients. I always send a quick email just introducing him. He's a great resource for anyone who needs him. And with that, I will give it over to Doug, our amazing mortgage rep with Weigert Financial, and I have the slides for you, Doug.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jason. All right, so let me give you a quick overview of what's happening in the general economy and specifically how it translates to retail rates. So as most of you probably know, the Federal Reserve met last week. They, not surprisingly, increased short-term rates by 0.75 of a point, so 75 basis points. That tends to have an indirect correlation to retail rates. So basically, if a lender's costs go up, and that's what they are, they're going to pass that along to the consumer on long-term rates as well. It's not a direct correlation, it's indirect. There was a press conference that they always have after the meeting, and Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, basically said we're not done with inflation, not by a long shot. So Their only bright spot at the moment is that it appears they might not do 75 basis points for the next increase. There's very good likelihood that they're going to increase in December as well, but it might not be 75 basis points. It might just be 50. So we might start to see these tapering off. I would hope anyway. By the end of the first quarter, we'd slow these down, reduce them, or at some point stop them. They can't continue raising it like this. Unemployment still is pretty strong. The employment numbers rather. Unemployment, we added 261,000 jobs. The unemployment rate went up slightly, but it's still very healthy at 3.7%, which is why the Federal Reserve is focused on inflation, because the jobs numbers are still pretty healthy. We're going to see, again, there's a meeting in December, likely have 50 to 75 basis point increase. So let's take a look at the next slide if we could. This is where it shakes out nationally. 30-year fixed nationally is 7.29%. This is with no points. So it's obviously, we've been saying it all along. We've been seeing it the entire year. The beginning of the year, we were in the low threes. Now we're in the low sevens. So it's pretty dramatic. Like I said, we're not done. But if you looked at the 30-year fixed average for the last 50 years, we're still below that. 7.77 is that number. So we're still below it. It came up very quickly. And that's what we all have to get used to. So the cost of money has definitely gone up a lot. Let's take a look at the next slide if we could. Here's a trivia question for the week. The Fed just raised short-term rates, as we talked about. This means that the prime rate has also increased. What is the current prime rate right now for banks? Is it 4%, 5%, 6%, or 7%? And the prime rate, it gets attached to a lot of different things like home equity loans and credit cards and things like that. Okay, we have a guess. Christine guesses 4%.
5.
Tom says 5 here. Aiden?
Tom says 5. Anybody else?
Aiden says 6.
6. It's actually at 7.
Wow.
So the prime rate's at 7, and it's going to go up again. So that's where we are. But we have, as I mentioned in the past, we have a whole menu of different programs that are a little bit, the straight vanilla ones and ones that are outside the box. If you have anybody you're working with, if they were pre-approved and it was more than really a month ago, you should have it reevaluated. I'd be happy to help you with that. And if you're doing an open house and you want affordability sheets, or if I can help you with anything else, just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doug. Appreciate
Thanks.
it. So we've got some congratulations. Again, the market's still moving. Tanya, Jacques, Josh, Paris, Christine F, Leslie, Stephanie, and Voss all did rentals. So congratulations to you guys. New signed contracts this week. Peter, Stephanie, and Eunice. Congratulations to all of you. New sale listings, Stephanie, Eunice, Michelle, Suzanne, and Tom. So congratulations to you guys. And closings, Will, Lauro, Ellen, Tanya, and Michael all had closings over the last 2 weeks. So congratulations to all you guys. Again, the market is still moving. There are deals out there. There are people who still want to buy. Again, if you need help kind of conquering the objections, one of the videos on the YouTube channel that I put up about 2 weeks ago now goes over how to talk about the market, right? And it still applies today as it did 2 weeks ago. Again, the rent versus buy aspects, the equity building, there's a lot of reasons that people should still buy, right? And again, do the math, right? Instead of looking at it as a, $700,000 purchase, maybe it's a, $3,000 mortgage every month, right? And that's a more palatable thing to people. So again, use all those numbers and stuff like that. I'd just like to take some time if anyone has a new listing or a listing they need or something, if you need an open house covered over the weekend or something like that, please let us know so we can kind of help each other out. Tom, do you want to talk about your upstate listing?
Sure. Suzanne and I took a very unique property in New Paltz, New York. I say unique because it's an equestrian property composed of a main house, several outbuildings, a working paddock and barn, and above the 4-stall barn, there is a caretaker's cottage of some 1,500 square feet. The two buildings can trade separately, but they are offered as a package on a total of approximately 24 acres at 2.75 million. For those of you who are not equestrians or familiar with the equestrian market, it basically moves from the Northeast to Southern Florida, particularly Wellington, outside of Palm Beach, and that transition takes place this month. So the market, by definition, in the Northeast will be soft, as all of these horse people are showing their talents and residing in Southern Florida. So although it's currently listed on LIBOR, we don't expect a lot of traffic. We try to engage the Weichert offices in the Hudson Valley, recruiting the local brokers, but the response was not that great. But if anybody in the Manhattan or 5 boroughs have people with equestrian interests, you should reach out to Suzanne or myself.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tom.
Sure.
Anyone else? Peter, do you want to talk about your Queens listings?
Hi, everybody. The one I'd want to talk about is Waldron, which is it's a 2-family. It used to be a 3-family. What's interesting about it, and it's being sold at $995,000. It has a tenant in place, and this upstairs apartment is vacant. But I had priced it at 1.1, and because they're interested in moving it quickly, we put it out there at 995. There's some flexibility. So if any of you have multifamily clients, you should take a real hard look at, I can't remember the address. It's Waldron Street though, in Corona. And it's the super property. I will be having an open house this Sunday.
Awesome.
Everybody should take a look at that.
And Peter, what would the return be if you did a little work and rented them at market?
At market, it would easily cap between 6 and 7.
So for New York City, that's a great return.
Yeah. It's a good property.
Yeah.
Anybody who has multifamily clients, you should look hard at it.
Yeah. So anyone with a live plus rent or full rental is, I think it's a good value. So
Exactly.
awesome. Thank you, Peter. Oh, and I do have to say, and I apologize to Aileen. Aileen Farku also had a rental. So sorry about that. I missed her from the list. I apologize. Anyone else have anything they'd like to talk about? Any listings coming up? Oh, I have a sublease from a former tenant of mine. It's basically an 11-month. So she moved in and wants to move out, of a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a private outdoor space, almost next to the office at 55 Thompson Street. $15,800 a month. It's pretty actually reasonable for the building. Full service Soho, dormant elevator building, lots of amenities and things like that. And it can be shown starting on Friday. So if you have anyone who's looking for an 11-month sublease, then you can rent directly from the owner. Oh, one more thing. I also have one of my friends is doing a short-term sublet in Carroll Gardens. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 2 living areas. Nice apartment. It's going to be for like December, January, February, 3 to 4 month sublet. It could be a little more immediate if they need it. Furnished. It's probably going to be somewhere between 10 and 12,000. So if you have anyone looking for a short-term sublet, holidays, moving to the city and needs a place to start out, let me know. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I'll send out the slides and the notes. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you all before I head out next week. But again, if there's anything you need immediately, or if there's anything that you're going to need in the next week or two, please let me know now so we can get everyone squared away. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of the day.
So, practically speaking,